Hi, dear students. Welcome back to another session of Human Resource Management. This is the session 37, which is all about that I have taken up the concept that is on recruitment policy. Once again, as you people know that this is Dr. Prasanna.T working in Government First Grade Women's College, Shumaga. Uh, Today in this session, I have taken to discuss or teach to you people that it's on the topic recruitment process. In the previous sessions that we all discussed in detail of the how recruitment is totally depending upon the many sources, especially internal source and then external source. And also we come across the objectives and then many issues that many components that where in which recruitment are going to be followed particularly by an organization or the companies. Here that we stick on to the recruitment process that which is a beautiful concept to discuss that how the process has been worked out by an organization to make a process of recruitment. See, recruitment is not a easy way to do to conduct an interview and then to appoint a candidate or to recruit a employee or to selection of the candidate. It's not an easy job. There is a process is there. In that process that we have to be adhere to our rules and regulation. We have to be confined to our strict what do you call the notification. According to that notification that we have to make it out the process of recruitment. Well, all in that let's move on to the not making any crunch here that let's move on to the straight away that what it is all about the process of recruitment. A recruitment process is an organized approach towards searching new talent and introducing them to the organization. This is what the things could be made by an organization and also the company. See, this is the way in which the process of recruitment should go on, and it is always goes on. This types of organized approach towards searching a new talent who are the just outcomer of the getting the their undergraduate or the postgraduate. It is the well equipped issue that we are going to introduce to the new company or to the organization. Then the process will be taken place in this scenario. In the absence of a systematic recruitment process, the cost of employee acquisition will rise. To carefully understand the steps involved in the recruitment process, which are mentioned there in my PPT, I mentioned nearly seven process to be maintained in recruitment. That what are those? Let's see first point wise, and then later that I am going to elaborate in detail. Number one is identifying job requirement. Number two is preparing and number three is advertising the vacant position. Number four is attracting candidates to apply for job, and then number five is managing applications, and then number six is scrutinizing applications, and then last one is shortlisting candidates. Here I am going to make it in details that elaborately I want to discuss the point wise that what it is the process are to be considered very much seriously in the recruitment, particularly from the organization or in the company. Either it may be in the public sector or it may be in the private sector. Let's see one by one. First one, identifying job requirement. The recruiter first recognizes the job opening regarding the department in which the vacancy is, and also is identify and also is recognize the number of vacancies and urgencies of hiring. This is what the things could be. First, when the process has been started by the organization to recruit the employee or to the candidate, it is must be clear that the where the recruitment job availability is there. We have to be identify the position requirements, that where job requirement is there, in which branch or in which department or in which sector, that we must appoint on the basis of their age, on the basis of their qualification, and also on the basis of their skills and then specialization. The specialization and skills are to be considered while the recruiting process, while we start the process of recruitment. This is one thing that human resource manager or any administrative or any ministerial manager should be look upon towards this requirement, that what amount of or what number of candidate that we should require part to took part in the process of recruitment. So this is what the identifying the job requirement is must, because that is the foundation of the process of recruitment, particularly when we are going to start the recruitment as well. Second one is preparing. This is one of the finest process that take part in the recruitment itself. Job description and job specification. In the previous session, I elaborately mentioned that these two items are to be considered. The next step is to making a job description disclosing the job related details like designation, location, duties to be performed, and required experience. Because nonetheless, if preparing of that job description and then preparing of that job specification not to be done under recruitment, I don't think so that making an interview is the part of development, because description should be mentioned and then specification should be mentioned, particularly job analysis as concerned. The preparing of the the job description and then specification must be look upon by having the human resource planning. With that planning, we have to be prepared of the job, particularly under an organization. The recruiter also chalk out the job specification having information regarding the skills, qualification, the area of expertise, etc. Because if a recruiter is not going to chalk out what it is all about, the what type of specification has to be done, what type of the candidates are going to make an application to that particular job, and then having that information regarding the skills, qualification, and in the area of expertise, whether he is expertise in agricultural sector or industrial sector, or you want to work in the service sector, we have to be rectified all these things by having a little bit of chalk out, particularly before going to make recruitment. So this is the second process that the recruiter has to be take place, that is preparing. Number three is while we are going to take it the process of recruitment, that is advertising the vacant position. It is the best thing to that there is no such types of controversy should be appear as far as organization is concerned, because nevertheless, if you are going to not announce the position, what actually vacancies are there in the organization, then the problem will get by the candidate on what way that candidate is going to apply office application towards that job. Think of it. So not necessary to think of it, having more information, gathering more information, and then make it an advertisement in an elaborate manner. Either you may take it from the print media, or you go with the network, or you may advertise in their own organization that vacant position must be displayed before going to make the process of requirement. A job vacancy is advertised through newspapers, brochures, job portals, as I said in the previous sessions, and then consultancies are there. That is in most number of the private consultancy agencies are also working, and the numerous associations are working in this way. Many what do you call BOPs, particularly outsourcing agencies, are also working in this regard. It ensures that the maximum number of relevant candidates can apply for the job. So if you are going to advertise the vacant position, that what number is there for this post and then what number is there for this post, then it is easy for to the candidates to apply, and then at the end of the receiving of that application, we should reach that how much application we received for that particular post, we may recognize it. So this is number 3, that is advertising the vacant position is the one aspect where the recruitment process also consider very much seriously when that organization is going to start recruitment. And then in the next slide, there are many processes that I have incorporated in my PPT. That is, fourth one is attracting candidates to apply for job is very much important, because the recruiter needs to provide proper assistance and guidance to the candidates willing to apply for the job. If you say, for example, there is if the process of recruitment is started by an organization, there is a job requirement has been identified, preparing work, particularly making description and then specification has to be made, and then all in all the vacant position are also made out advertising, and then at the end the concept replace or the concept arrives in our mind is that attracting candidate to apply for that particular job. Because if vacant position has to be advertised, but that organization or that company, if zero application or nil application are to be received for that particular job, then the cost of that advertisement and then identifying that job requirement, preparing by making job description and then job specification, as much as, would you believe it or not, it is most costlier. In this way, that we have to be attract, particularly the organization must attract that for apply to the job, particularly guiding that this job is having this type of assistance, and then this job is having this types of incentives, and then this job is getting this much of salary, which is mechanized one. So guidance out to the candidate is very much necessary. At the end, what do you call the in the notification of that recruitment, they have to mention the rules and conditions at the end of that application. In this way, the organization may attract the candidate to apply for the job. And the next one is managing applications, which is also the important process has to be taken under recruitment. The recruiter has to arrange the application in an orderly manner to simplify the task of scrutinizing them. See, this is what the things could be. Application may in a vulnerable application supposed to be received while we are recruiting process has been started. If that process has been started, then after receiving the application, that management of that application is very much important. We have to bifurcate the female application, male application, and then X job application, Y job application, A job application, B job application. Like that, we have to be managed, because alphabetically we know that this is what I want to mention in the AG office, that is in Bangalore. They will maintain the files and then records according to the what do you call alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F up to so on XYZ. They will maintain like that, because the ministerial officers will maintain if that is alphabetical A is there, and then that A alphabetical the employee on all the issues dealt by the particular ministerial manager. So up to so on XYZ, like that we have to be maintained here also where the recruitment has taken place. And the next one is the sixth one, scrutinizing applications. Next step is the initial investigation of the application to go through the candidate's profile thoroughly. This is the what you call scrutinizing the application is a big part of that recruitment process, because investigation and then inquiry and then make an objections are start from here itself. Because if nonetheless if you are not going to make proper scrutinization of that application, the collapse of life of that candidate may be appear, because scrutinizing the application is very much important, because that the candidate's profile may be strengthened compared to the other, and then it is a more stronger and then compared to other. So that candidate profile must be thoroughly studied by that recruiter, and then he must investigate it, and then he must inquire it properly. After that, scrutinizing the application from question number 1 to up to so on n, so he must realize the fact that he must gone through that application or not. By scrutinizing that application is a very big part of that process of recruitment. And the last one is the shortlisting candidates. It is the we will consider very much seriously under the process of recruitment. Shortlisting candidates by scrutinizing the applications, candidates with the matching profile are picked out for the process of selection. So this is the end of the recruitment process. That is, after scrutinizing the application, after managing the application, if that organization or that department received 1000 application to that particular job, in that notification only 100 job offered by that organization, and then we have to be select only 100 application, and then we should list out the 100 candidates by making, either you may call it as a shortlisted candidates, or you may call it as a provisional list of selected candidates. The provisional list is a most accuracy, and then it should be accurate one, because there itself the candidate may the possibilities are there, the candidate may apply for an objection to raise the objection that on what way the shortlisting of the candidate has been done, and then on what way the provisions of that selected list has been done by that particular organization. So these are all the process of recruitment. So recruiter must very much serious in this way, and then he must always concentrate on the recruitment, because he must follow these process very keenly, and then very interestingly, and then very seriously. So these are all the 7 process that I mentioned in my PPT, and then I also prepared accordingly study material also. I also followed many source of reference to do this material. So all the way that in the process of recruitment, we know the identifying job recruitment, and then preparing. Number 3 is advertising the vacant position. Fourth is attracting candidates to apply for job. Fifth one is managing applications. Sixth one is scrutinizing applications. And then last one is, and then last one is, and last but it is not a least one, shortlisting candidates, or you may call it as a provisional list of selected candidates. Very, very, very important from the point of view of the process of recruitment is concerned, particularly to the organization or to the companies. Either it may be those companies and then organizations situated in private sector, or it may be in the government sector, or you may call it as public sector. So the process, considering all these 7 factors, must always follow the policies made out by the government and also by the human resource planning under that management. So this is what the process of recruitment has to be taken place by the organization. With this, I will stop here. And the last slide, obviously, that I mentioned source of reference, that where I collected all this information to study the recruitment process. So, as usual, that is Ashwatappa, and then Edwin B. Flippo, Gary Dessler and Biju, George Bolander, and also the Memoria CB and Gangankar SB, and last one is, but it is not least one, Subbaravu, who wrote wonderful books, Essentials of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations. So this is what this session is all about, and in this session, as I said earlier, this session is all about the recruitment process. With this, I will stop here, dear students. I want to call to my pupils a key, and then I will stop here. At the end, what I say, I will come up with a new topic in the new session. As of now, bye for now.